Emily, and today I'm here with Miss Jeppesen. She's a teacher at Northwest ISD, and she focuses mainly on early learning. So we're just going to ask you a few questions today.
Great.
Alrighty, so our first question is, just tell us a little bit about yourself and your role at Northwest.
Okay, so I'm a wife, I'm a mom of 3 adult children, and I'm a teacher at Northwest High School. I recently finished my master's degree in educational leadership, and I teach the early learning pathway at Northwest High School.
That's so neat. All right, question number 2 is, what inspired you to pursue a career in early childhood education?
So after raising my 3 adult kids, I wanted to make a difference in the lives of children by teaching positive, effective, and supportive parenting skills. I wanted to mentor students as I learned from my kids how important that was. My kids had some really great teachers and mentors, and I just decided that's what I want to do. I want to teach kids how to be great teachers, because that's so important in our society today.
It really is. And question number 3 is, how long have you been teaching the early childhood education?
6 years.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right, so we're just going to kind of jump into your classroom and about your students.
Okay.
Question number 4 is, what does a typical day look like in your classroom?
Okay, so I teach 4 sections or 4 classes of child development. That's a prerequisite for the early learning pathway. In that class, I have sophomores, juniors, and seniors, and they are learning about the development of children from age 0 to 18 in that class. They're also getting CPR certified.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. And so that's 4 class periods, and then 2 of the class periods is the early learning interns. So those are the students that are at your center. They're in child guidance the first year, and that's 1 internship that goes on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and they're in class on Tuesdays and Thursdays. If they get the chance to do the internship as a junior, they could repeat the class and do a practicum where they could get hired, and they can leave high school early and come here and work until you close. So those are the interns that you have 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Those are the ones that are getting paid. They're seniors. They're doing early release from their high school curriculum because they're done with all of their classes, and it's like a work release program.
And I must say, the kids from your class are awesome.
They love it. They love coming to work.
And what kind of topics or skills do your students learn before they start their internships?
Okay, so in that child development class, they're learning development milestones of children age 0 to 18. They're also learning healthcare practices, guidance techniques. They're getting CPR certified. It's kind of like a parenting class on steroids. So even if a kid doesn't go into the internship, they still are learning parenting skills that I believe are amazing to use throughout their lifetime.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great. And then, what do you hope your students take away from this program, both professionally and personally?
Okay, so I wrote a few things down because I didn't want to leave anything out, because I'm really passionate about these 2 topics. Professionally, I hope that they learn and identify what professionalism in the workplace looks like. I feel like students, a lot of my students don't have jobs before they come into this internship. So this is the very beginning of a job setting, if you will. So they learn social skills that they're going to need to use in their lifetime in the workplace. Many of the interns need to learn how to communicate correctly, how to dress appropriately, have a positive attitude while at work. What happens to the phone while they're at work? Like in the childcare setting, as you know, the state requires that they can never be on their phones. So it's a really good eye opener for them of like what the workplace looks like and how the phone has to be kind of put away. And that like backs up what we're trying to do in the classroom anyways. We're trying to eliminate phones currently from the classroom setting. So that's just a little bit of what I think that I hope that they learn professionally. One other important piece that I think is amazing is that in high school, they get this opportunity to see a workplace. They get to see if this is for them or if it's not for them in high school. It saves them a lot of time and money, and they can determine where they want to go, in their future. What do they want to major in college? Some of them do this internship and are like, I don't ever want to leave. This is my calling. This is what I want to do. And some of them are like, this is not for me. So I appreciate your patience, because you will have some interns that it's not for them, and they're kind of going through the motions, if you will. But they do end up making great relationships. They cry when they leave. They really do. At the end of it, they have a great experience regardless, I find. But some learn that it's not for them, and that's also valuable. It saves time and money, and they move on to something else. And then personally, I want them to learn how to be a positive mentor to kids. Whether they continue to work with kids or not, this is an important part for them in their futures. It's going to bring confidence. It brings them self-esteem. They get to see how they can make a positive difference for kids. And that is so essential. I had a student last year that this wasn't the workplace for them, but they discovered that they loved working with kids. They just wanted to do it in a different setting. And it was just an amazing experience to watch them work through some of these things personally and then see at the end the value of it. So it's just really rewarding. I love it.
Okay, how did your partnership with the Academy come about?
Okay, so 2 of my teacher friends approached me because they know that I work in the community here in Justin and Hazlet to place all of my interns in these centers because they have to have this internship experience. So in order to do that, I have to have childcare centers all over the place and send them, on their way. And so 2 teachers approached me and were like, oh my gosh, Miss Jeppesen, there's this place. We send our kids there. We just found it's in North Lake. It's called the Academy. So I always send an email and I call. And then came over and met with Abby and Misty, I believe. Got to know them a little bit, shared our passion for childcare. And so from there, it's just been great. It's been a great experience. And I'm so happy for the Academy that we're seeing all of these new locations because my interns will have all these classrooms to work in next year.
Yes, I know. I'm so excited for that. Well, that's awesome. And what has it been like sending interns to the Academy?
So it has really been amazing because I have worked in many different childcare facilities across the area. And the Academy is different. It is very different experience. It is a positive place. All of the staff is smiling. Everybody has a passion for what they're doing. And you can tell, you can see it, you can feel it. It's an environment, and you can tell the difference. And I just think it's a great place for kids to come and learn and grow.
I appreciate that. That's really nice. And then, what kind of feedback have you received from students after interning with us?
Okay, so to give you a little background about the interns, some of the interns have been at other placements and then come to the Academy, and they can see the difference.
Really?
But some students have only been at the Academy, right? Okay. Because I just place them and they don't leave. Right. So the ones that have never seen anything different are just pleasant and love it, and it's been great. The ones that have been at another place and they come to the Academy just go on and on and on about how amazing it is. They can tell that the leadership here is teaching them and is taking a valued interest in them and trying to show them what's right, what's not, and they're making a relationship with the interns, and they can tell. And teenagers can spot authenticity a mile away.
Absolutely.
So they can tell if it's authentic or not, and that's been great.
That's awesome to hear.
Yeah.
And how do you think experiences like this help prepare students for real careers in early education, which we kind of touched on?
Yes. So the experiences that they have are so valuable. They're learning how to be a teacher in an early learning classroom. So that when they come in an internship, they're a teacher's aide. They're not the teacher. They're not 18. So they're very much just extra hands and learning and making friends with the teacher there and enjoying their time. So they're really getting to see if they got a job at 18 working as a teacher, or later, or when they get their CDA, or when they get their associate's degree, they're learning the proper way to be a teacher. They're learning what the curriculum looks like. They're using the iPads in the correct way. They're informing parents. Sometimes they get to even work with parents at drop off and pick up. So they're kind of learning the industry, if you will. And that's just a great experience for a kid to do at high school. It just helps them to be a better employee and a better teacher in their future.
I really do love and appreciate that schools are doing this now.
Yeah.
when I was in school, we
Yeah.
did not do this.
Me
and
too.
I think that it would have saved me a lot of
Yes,
confusion and
right?
what I wanted to do with my career.
Yeah, it's great.
And then just a little bit about our center and how it makes you feel when you come in our doors.
Mhm.
So what stands out to you about the academy when you come to visit?
So not every childcare center is brand new, right? So but your centers are brand new. They they smell beautiful, they look beautiful. The time and funds were put into these centers, and you can tell that. But it's just really cool to see a new center and a new chain of centers like what you're becoming kind of keep consistency.
Yes.
I think that's been amazing to see that. And not every center has that. Not every centers have many centers, if
Right.
you will. Mostly they're private and they're
Yes.
just individual, run in different ways. All of my centers are great. I feel, I mean, obviously I wouldn't send high school kids if it wasn't,
Right.
but you are different in the fact that you're new, you have up-to-date curriculum, you have staff that's all doing training. You can tell you're doing professional development. Everybody's on the same page.
Yes.
The communication with the parents is great. It's kind of a seamless formula, if you will. Yeah, it's great.
And how do you feel the academy supports and mentors young educators, which we've also touched on?
Yes, so we touched on that a little bit, but I'll talk a little bit about what we're going to do in the future because I know Abby and I have talked about this. So far, we have gotten to know each other just on our first year level, if you will. We're just kind of getting to know each other and what we do and how things all work. Now that we've worked together for a year, what we're going to do is the academy is actually going to come over to Northwest High School this fall, and they're going to talk to the interns before the interns even come to the academy. And when that happens, they're going to tell the kids kind of what to expect. They're going to talk about dress code. They're going to talk about cell phone usage. Or Abby's going to do that. So it's not just me. Usually it's just me teaching them and training them what to do at placement, and then they come to placement and they're trained. But I love that we're going to bridge the gap a little bit, and Abby and Misty and I think a few others are going to come out and meet the interns, and they're going to talk to them, and they're going to start the mentoring process in the high school in August. And then when they come out to the academy on their first day, it'll be like kind of like a onboarding process with paperwork and stuff like that. And then they're also going to we always do an all-day placement at least once or twice during the year where the interns are here all day, and they take the opportunity while kids are napping to kind of teach and train them a little bit further if they were to get employed here. So I have some interns that were child guidance interns as a junior that are going to work here this summer because they loved it so much.
That's awesome.
And they don't want to leave. And they're like, well, can I work there all summer? And so I talked with Abby, and so they're actually going to be working here in the summer. And then you'll have some at graduation that will work in between going to college and their high school graduation, and some that are going to stay here and go to TCC and will get hired. So it's kind of a process from the time they first start all the way through their senior year. And I love that partnership.
Yeah, I do too. And I really like that Abby's going to go and talk and, so it's not just like a brand new thing on.
Yes, because they're a little nervous. They're very nervous to come out here and really get in with kids. They don't know what to expect. So I think that will be great. They'll already meet everybody so that when they come, there's a friendly face and they already know who. Yeah.
Very cool. And then last but not least, why do you feel it's important for students to learn in an environment like ours?
I just feel that it's important for my high school students to learn the correct curriculum and learn correct positive guidance techniques, learn correct procedures and policies with the state, with parents, communication, like all of that is happening here. And so I feel like that is essential for high school students to learn the right way of doing things. And so that's only going to be a value-added benefit to the community and to the industry when they go to work in other placements. If they go to college and they're able to work in a childcare center at college, some of them do that because they already have that experience and they can get paid a good amount when they're working instead of working fast food, something they don't really enjoy. And these are business hours, so often that lends to the college, schedule. It's just going to be great for the industry as a whole to teach kids the right way, to work with kids, to work with parents, and to be a great employee.
And at a young age.
Yes.
Like, I really wish we had something like that when I was in
Yeah. And I even think it's great that they can take these experiences and the great professionalism that they're going to learn, and they can use it in a business setting.
Right.
Or they can use it in a medical care setting, whatever they decide to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me today.
Yes. Thank you for having me. This has been great.
All right. See you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.